Hey guys, this is Andy, and welcome back. I hope you're enjoying week 2 of the Iconic Fitness Nutrition Program. Today I'm going to cover a topic that a lot of people have asked me questions about, and is certainly something that I think is very important because it's so prevalent amongst our members, and even for myself. I love coffee too. I'm going to talk about coffee. And whether you should drink it, if you should drink it, how much, and maybe even what times a day are best to drink it. So hopefully we can shed some light on the topic of coffee. Okay, so one of the things that is frustrating, I know it was for me and might be for you, is there's a lot of conflicting information out there about coffee. You can read some stuff that says, coffee has a bunch of chemicals and causes cancer, while another article will say it's full of antioxidants and go for it, drink it up. Other things will say decaf is better for you, while another article will discuss the benefits of caffeine. So I've done the legwork for you, and I'm gonna try to simplify and summarize a lot of this information so that hopefully you have a little bit better idea what exactly is right and wrong about the information you're seeing. First one we're going to talk about, since I love coffee myself, are the benefits. Why might coffee be a good idea to drink, and what do you get out of it? I'm going to skip over the most obvious answer, which is that it wakes you up in the morning. If you're like me, I can't live without my morning coffee. But we're going to talk about some of the other benefits you might not be as familiar with. I think we all know, if we drink coffee, just how nice that pick-me-up is. But what about the rest of it? So the first one is that coffee actually contains a bunch of nutrients. I'm not going to read them all off here, but you'll see that there are percentages of several different vitamins and minerals. These are the antioxidants that you often hear are located in coffee. Antioxidants are just different vitamins and minerals. If you're wondering what that 11% of the RDA means, it's the recommended daily allowance. So for instance, take vitamin B2. If you have 2 or 3 cups of coffee, you're covering a third of your recommended daily intake. So there are some benefits there. The next one, and probably the most important, maybe I should have started with this, is caffeine. We all love a little caffeine, and besides just waking you up, something that you might have felt before is that coffee is a brain stimulant, or caffeine is a brain stimulant. So research has indicated that you actually perform better on cognitive testing after a little bit of coffee. It helps you focus and tends to improve brain functionality. So I'm drinking a cup of coffee right now, which is why you might be thinking, man, that guy Andy is super smart. It's because caffeine is stimulating my brain. Another interesting benefit is increased metabolism, which you might not be as aware of, but this is the idea that coffee will actually increase your heart rate and ability to keep burning calories throughout the day, which is a really nice benefit for those of us on weight loss programs. For those of you who aren't familiar with these are two diseases that often occur during old age, Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Research indicates that increased coffee intake can actually reduce the risk of attaining these two diseases. So that's nice. If you've ever known anybody that suffered with these two, they can be very difficult to live with, and coffee has proven to reduce their likelihood of occurring. Reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. This is an important one, especially for those of us on weight loss programs. Being overweight often increases your risk of this delayed onset or late onset diabetes, which carries with it a ton of other risks, increased risk of heart attack and stroke, and some other kind of nasty stuff. So coffee is actually proven to help limit the chances of getting type 2 diabetes, and actually can help control your insulin response in general. So that's pretty cool, and something that you might not be aware of. The last one that I'll mention, although there are plenty of other benefits of coffee, is that it has been proven to reduce your risk of depression. And if you have seen me in the morning with a coffee versus without a coffee, you know exactly what they're talking about. I am a depressed and angry guy without my coffee in the morning. You might feel the same way. So have a cup of Joe and smile. But let's talk about the other side. What are the actual risks of drinking coffee? Because if I say all this stuff is good, you might assume that I can just attack it and go start drinking coffee and have as much as I want. And that's not entirely true. The first one is increased anxiety and disrupted sleep. This is particularly common if you're drinking too many cups of coffee a day. I'll discuss a little bit later what is a healthy amount of coffee to drink. But if you're overdoing it, you might have even felt this, where you've got that feeling of anxiety, increased heart rate, and disrupted sleep patterns, where you can't stay asleep long, or you don't reach those levels of REMS, or your deepest level of sleep. So you need to be careful about that. Although it is tend to be associated with too much coffee drinking, not just coffee intake in general. Highly addictive. Anybody who drinks coffee knows what this is like. If you start drinking coffee and then you try to stop or quit cold turkey, it can lead to headaches, nausea, a lack of focus, and then extreme mood swings. So if you are used to drinking coffee, I am not telling you to cut cold turkey. Trust me, if I'm training you or any of your other coaches are training you in the morning, we do not want to deal with a person going through coffee and caffeine withdrawals. With decaf, if you're worried about the caffeine and the addiction, the problem is to reduce the caffeine in coffee, they actually have to filter it through a whole bunch of chemicals that take the caffeine out, although there is still some caffeine in decaf coffee. Those chemicals are not healthy for you at all. So unfortunately, decaf coffee, it has less caffeine and is also probably worse for you. I can literally think of no reason to drink decaf coffee unless you're just trying to cut coffee altogether and you are addicted to the taste of it. Starbucks, Cafe Nero, Costa, all those places, guys, they are loaded with extra calories and sugars, etc. So just one of your tall cups of coffee, regular latte over at Starbucks is going to have between 300 and 500 calories. That is more than most of the meals that you're going to be consuming. One of those cups can also have between 20 and 30% of your daily allowance of sugar. And that's if you don't add any extra sugar. They've already put the sugar in for you. And then the additional caffeine in a regular tall cup is equivalent to 2 to 3 cups of regular filtered coffee. So beware when you're drinking lattes and cappuccinos and stuff from your Starbucks, Cafe Nero, Costa, etc. There are a lot of additional calories. And if you're on a weight loss program, my suggestion is to kind of avoid these places entirely. The bottom line, yes or no? Well, the answer is generally yes. It's fine to drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee, but you don't want to overdo it. And that's an important part, is making sure that you actually stick to 2 to 3 cups. These are filtered coffee mugs that you might have at home, not 2 to 3 cups of tall, venti, double, triple soy caramel latte over at Starbucks. It's 2 to 3 regular cups that you have at home. The types of times that are good to drink it there are 2, which is when you wake up. Obviously, if you've ever tried not drinking coffee when you wake up, life can be just a little bit more difficult without coffee. But also right before exercise is one you might not be familiar with. It's proven to increase focus and sometimes improve your actual performance while resistance training. So you might be able to focus a little bit better on technique and even lift a little bit heavier weights. It's important to note you never want to drink coffee right after a meal. When I was at an office job, I often would eat my big lunch and then go straight to my espresso. Coffee is a diuretic, and what it does is it pushes things through your digestive system without absorbing the nutrients. So you essentially are going to pee or poop all of those beneficial nutrients out, and you might as well have not eaten the meal at all. So try not to drink it right after, at least wait 2 to 3 hours. If you are pregnant or you're trying to get pregnant, don't drink coffee. That's pretty straightforward. If you have high blood pressure, don't drink coffee. We're not really negotiating on those. That's pretty straightforward. In summary, if you don't drink coffee now, there's not enough evidence out there that you should start drinking coffee. It's fine that you don't. You can get your antioxidants some other way. If you are currently a coffee drinker, though, 2 to 3 cups filtered or instant coffee at home are actually probably pretty healthy for you. Just remember, if you add sugar to it, then you're increasing the number of calories and the insulin response. It becomes a lot less healthy. And if you're adding milk to your coffee, there are usually a lot of calories associated with it. If you are going to drink it with milk, always do full-fat milk instead of low-fat. And we'll talk a little bit more about, I think Hannes has a presentation on fat just this week that might explain that a little bit further. So if you want some more information, I've got a link below to a blog that we wrote about coffee with a bit more information. Feel free to check it out. Otherwise, I hope this has helped illuminate whether you should be having that cup of joe in the morning or not. My general opinion is sure. Have a cup or 2 and smile. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation. This is Andy from Iconic Fitness, and I am out.